Episode 7.
This is Creepy Chris on the mic here, and with Ashley. We got Monstrous Mac over there on the drums.
That was his butt.
Yes.
And sitting in, special guest, Christopher Yzzi.
What's up?
Yeah, I don't know. That was great. That was really cool.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. I couldn't meet the.
It's everything I always knew your voice could be, compiled into something that the world is now going to witness.
I call that the Zatarans Man.
I know. I was about to say, and featuring the Zatarans Man, but you called yourself Creepy Chris, so.
Yeah.
I would say you could also just be a strip club DJ.
Oh no!
Here is Cassidy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Give her a round of applause.
Gross.
Half price drinks after 8.
Yeah, welcome to So Many Ways Haunted. You know what we do. For those of you who don't, why are you even here? No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Don't stop listening.
How did you make it to episode 7?
I mean,
why did you start on 7?
This sounds like something. It sounds like something I would do, which is get a random podcast and listen to a random episode, and then in the first 3 seconds, I'm like, "This is stupid. I'm not going to listen to this anymore."
And then we
don't do that.
you.
Don't be me. Don't be me. Please listen.
Maybe they accidentally just sorted by new.
Give us a chance.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So they started at the newest, and they're going to work their way backwards.
A lot of times I will listen. If I'm looking for a podcast, I'll just listen to the newest episode.
Yeah. I mean, that's when they usually have it all together. But at this podcast, we never have anything together.
No.
And if that's you,
who knows it'll ever
you.
be together.
Sad. Yeah, so we're here to talk about paranormal happenings like spooky stories and haunted places and listener stories that you send in, and we'll share your experiences because we love you. We want to support you. And urban legends, and this week we have a really cool segment from Yzzi, and we'll also be hearing from other Chris as well.
Yep. The mysterious other Chris.
Yeah.
Other Chris.
Yeah. Should we talk about the haunted documentary we saw last night?
Please yeah. I don't really remember what it was called.
I think it was just called Haunt.
Oh, really?
Or like The Haunt or something like that.
Yeah. It's about people who set up haunted houses, or like more like the more noteworthy haunted houses in the world, or I guess in America.
Yeah.
And then one guy who does an extreme haunted house, which is basically just torture.
The McCamey Manor is what it's called. And then the other extreme one is called Blackout. Blackout is kind of the same thing where they kind of like torture you, but also they kind of simulate like rape scenes.
Yeah,
which is like really, really rough. But McCamey Manor is legitimate torture. Like they will drown you, and they will waterboard you,
What?
and they will put like bugs and things in your mouth.
No.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Speaking of that, have you guys ever actually waterboarded yourselves before?
No,
I don't think
plan
so.
on doing it.
I've always thought about it, but I've never done it.
So I heard about like what waterboarding was whenever that was a big thing. Like, the CIA is waterboarding people. So I was
Did
like,
you
well,
waterboard
So you took a trip to Guantanamo Bay.
well, not quite. I just took a towel and stuck it over my face, and then had the shower go into my face. It was not pleasant.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
And that was amateur waterboarding.
Yeah.
Not amateur self waterboarding, not professional.
That was baby's first waterboarding.
Yeah, that wasn't government issue waterboarding.
Oh my lord.
But-
Yeah, it was. Go ahead.
So like the documentary was like the most extreme carnies, like
It,
the
no,
most
it
extreme.
really
goth
wasn't.
carnies.
It was just
Yeah.
kind of like notable people in that industry.
Yeah.
And then it was just kind of like there was a fine line. Like there were people
between like the torturers haunts and then the traditional haunts. There's like a divide on like what
That's
people
ridiculous.
think.
like actors that have acted in haunted houses since like the 70s and 80s, and like this is their career. People who what?
You have to do extensive background checks on the people that are
Yeah, he does.
Well, I mean, I know they do, but I'm just saying...
the McKamey Manor dude?
Yeah, he does background checks on the people
He does background checks, but it doesn't matter.
But that's what I'm saying.
He
it's
hired high schoolers at first, and then
that's true.
one of the high schoolers got inappropriate with one of the other girls.
You don't say.
And then he started hiring people, and he does background checks, and he was like, in one of the scenes, he was like, yeah, this guy is a felon, you know, like, he went to prison for beating up a cop, but, you know, like...
Well, I mean, and not saying people can't be reformed, but, like,
it
is kind of... It's a little bit weird.
It's just a playground for people that are, like...
What's happening out there?
It's a...
motorcycle rally.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, you're just opening up this opportunity for people to be, like...
Yeah.
You know, it's everything they dreamed they could be, but now you get to do it for a job. It's the same thing, like, you know that... I know there's one in Houston. I don't remember what it's called, but it's the restaurant where they're allowed to be rude to you.
Oh,
and they
dicks.
Yeah,
and they throw.
Wait, there's one in
balls
Houston? I went to the one in San Antonio.
There's one in Houston, yeah.
I was really mad when we went there.
They berate you, they yell at you, and they're just... I just can't... I'm not going to pay money for this. Just like I wouldn't go to a haunted house where they're allowed to torture you.
Yeah.
If I want to waterboard myself, it's like Yzzi said, I'll do it to myself, thank you very much.
I remember, so we went to Dick's with my family. Well, I did, like, several years ago, like, right after high school. And I'm very sensitive, and I was afraid they were going to make fun of me, so I just pouted the whole time. But it turns out the waiter was actually really nice, and, like, he had some tattoos, and he just sat down with us and we just talked about tattoos. So it was like, this is cool, because
cool.
it was like, this is best case scenario. But anyway, the documentary was, like, really good.
Yeah, it was good.
I had one drink with rum.
Yeah.
And there were some sad parts, and I cried through the majority of it because I just couldn't take it. There were just some tearful parts.
Yeah,
it wasn't that scary. It was just like sad parts.
You definitely like get creeps from the guy who runs McKamey Manor, but then like they show the other side of him where like he doesn't take any money for his haunt. All he does, he takes 4 bags of dog food and he donates it to
4 cans, not even bags. 4 cans of dog food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some people showed it with bags.
No, that's true. Yeah, some people did bring bags.
But like he just donates it to like a dog charity.
It's a great. I think it's
like a
it's not a Weimaraner.
rescue.
I think it's a Greyhound rescue. Yeah. He'll donate it, and then it talks about his dad and how his parents were really into Halloween, and then his dad died from basically
radiation poisoning.
Yes, radiation poisoning because he was
in the Nevada desert when they were testing out nuclear bombs, and they didn't he just was too close.
They gave them a front row seat of all the atomic bombs, and so he was basically like.
Did they say what he did?
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I only asked because it's a famous story that I was at some point going to mention about how there was a specific Western filmed with what's his face, John Wayne.
No, it wasn't a Western film. I think it was Genghis Khan.
Yes,
You're right.
Yes,
it was Genghis Khan. Yeah, that's right.
It was the Conqueror. And it was in that desert with all the nuclear testing and tons of the cast.
The atomic dust.
The cast.
Yeah.
It was actually John Wayne himself actually eventually died of the radiation.
Yeah, like all of them
It's like all of them got like lymphoma or something.
Yeah. Pretty messed up.
I learned about that in college.
Crazy.
But yeah, and then it was like, he was dying of radiation poisoning, and so he ended up taking his life because he was in so much pain. It's just like I just
Rough stuff.
couldn't stop crying. And then this other woman who has been an actor in haunted houses for decades, she talks about how there are some people that react violently when you scare them.
Yeah.
Like, will punch you. And she's talked about how, like, 3 drunk guys, like, she jumped out at a haunted house at them, and they all choked her and then started, like, punching her.
Yeah.
And one guy, like, stepped on her back and messed up her back, and she's just talking about how, like, she's not going to be able to do it anymore, and like that.
And
she's
how
just
she
kind
like
of,
hides
her.
most of her pain from her husband because he's like really worried about her.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it gets real.
Yeah.
And then it talks about kind of like how the toll it takes on marriage relationships between like it's usually the husbands. I mean, in her case, like she was into it and her husband wasn't, but usually it's the husbands that are building these haunts that the wives are just like, I don't like Halloween, and are just kind of like not into it and kind of degrading about it. And
plus like the crazy amount of money they have to spend on setting all that up, especially with McKamey Manor when he doesn't make anything off of it. Apparently they started building a new sort of like on this horse ranch, they started building like an actual location.
And then someone in the area called the cops, and they had a city, even though they already had a permit, they had a city inspector come out, and they already put $35,000 of work into it, and they had to tear it all down. So it's like...
Did they say what for? What was the specific violation?
I don't remember. I don't know. They said they had to get another permit, which would have been another $35,000 or something like that.
Just to apply.
Yeah, and they didn't even know if they're going to be able to get it. But anyway, the documentary is really awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check it out.
Big recommend.
Yeah, get ready to cry if you've had rum. But I only had one. I had a rum.
You had one.
One of a rum.
Yep.
Yeah. Should we get into it?
And that was just the opener.
Anything else we need to... Oh, let's shout out to Caleb, shall we?
Who?
Caleb.
Oh, yeah, Caleb Camp.
Yeah, he keeps... anytime he listens to our podcast, he live texts, like, his reactions to the podcast. So he will... When he's listening to an episode, he will text me for about an hour all of his reactions as he's listening. So, yeah, it's always fun. And I never really know what he's talking about. Because he's like, when Chris said this. And I'm like, I don't remember that. When was this?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Anyway, so yeah, shout out to Caleb.
Yep.
Hope you peed your pants, Caleb, out of excitement. Here's your name. We're saying it. Caleb. We did it. Yeah, so shall we jump right in?
Yes, we shall.
Dip our toes into the lake of
Spooky
spooks.
water.
The dark water. The darkest.
The dark. We got some pizza waiting on us and Trimmers. The movie waiting on us, so let's get this going.
The series of the series.
Did you watch the movie Dark Water?
I watched the TV show Pirates of Dark Water.
I didn't know there was a TV movie.
Well, it was a completely unrelated cartoon show from like the 90s.
All right.
That's sad to me.
Don't look at it.
I'm not.
Okay, so this week I'm going to talk about a couple castles, which I thought were really interesting, but they don't have too many ghosts to them. But they're both very interesting, so they're going to be a little bit quick, but that's why I picked two. All right, so this first one I'm going to talk about is called Yzzi Castle, and there's an image of it right there.
I love that you have images while we listen to those.
Yeah.
He is air playing on an Apple TV for those of you peasants that don't have an Apple TV. Just kidding, our parents' butters.
Okay.
Yeah, he's playing. It's like a PowerPoint. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Good job. Proud of you.
Thanks, babe. All right, so Yzzi Castle is the largest and most visited castle in Japan, and it was registered in 1993 as one of the first UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the country. It's a hilltop Japanese castle complex situated in the city of Himeji, which is located on the Hyogo Prefecture of Japan. The castle is regarded as the finest surviving example of prototypical Japanese castle architecture, comprising a network of 83 rooms with advanced defensive systems from the feudal period. It dates back to 1333 when Akamatsu Norimura built a fort on top of Himeyama Hill. The fort was dismantled and rebuilt as the castle in 1346 and then remodeled into Himeji Castle 2 years later. 2 centuries later. Himeji Castle was then significantly remodeled in 1581 by Toyotomi Hideyoshi, who added a 3-story castle keep. And for over 400 years, Himeji Castle has remained intact, even throughout the extensive bombing of Himeji in World War II.
Oh my gosh.
And natural disasters such as the 1995 Great Hanshin earthquake.
Wow.
So this is well known. There is a well-known kaidan, or Japanese ghost story, called Banshu Sarayashiki, the Dish Mansion in Harima Province. There is a disputed claim that the castle is the bona fide location of the entire legend, and the alleged Okiku's well remains in the castle to this day, which I have an image of. It's a really creepy-looking well.
So what's so creepy about this well? Why have people creeped out about it?
Let's see. So according to the legend, Okiku was falsely accused of losing dishes that were valuable family treasures.
Oof.
And then she was killed and thrown into the well.
Oh my lord. Wait, why would they throw a body into the well? Isn't that where they get their water?
People were dumb back then, so they didn't know about like bacteria.
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
horrible communicable diseases.
Sure.
So,
according to legend, her ghost is reported to crawl out of the well at night and roam the halls of the castle.
Wait, any night? She crawls out every single night?
I guess so. Well, this image shows it graded up, so I'm assuming if she did...
She doesn't do it no mouth.
We stopped that ghost.
Everyone knows ghosts can't get through metal.
Nice try, Spook.
That's made out of copper. All right.
This is samurai steel.
Samurai steel.
It's blessed samurai steel. Nothing.
So wait, go ahead. Nothing.
I was gonna say nothing. Can
finish the joke.
I lost my train of thought, and then it
sad.
It was a good bit. So she comes out of this well.
Yeah.
And just walks around.
Yeah. That's really all I can find.
That sounds great.
So this next one is called Predjama Castle, and I love the way this looks. I would totally visit this place.
Oh, really? Is this also? This is also in Japan?
No, this is in Slovenia.
Oh, dude, we have a Chardonnay at work from Slovenia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It looks like it's out of like a fantasy book
This is
like
wild.
a magic card.
Yeah, it does.
So it is a Renaissance castle built within a cave mouth in south central Slovenia.
Oh, is that what that is?
Real quick,
Wow.
I want to clarify. You said pajama?
Predjama.
Prajama. Okay.
Predjama. So yeah, it's built within the mouth of a gigantic cave. The castle was first mentioned in the year 1274 with
my Lord.
the German name Lueg, when the Patriarch of Aquila built the castle in the Gothic style.
Sick.
Yeah.
Blah.
The castle was built under a natural rocky arch high in the stone wall to make access to it difficult. So it's basically built as like a giant fort.
Wow. Of course you would like that because you
Yes.
love fortresses.
Yeah.
Yes.
It gets cooler though. So over the centuries that followed, the castle was owned by several high-bred families. By far the most famous of them all is
the Baird family.
The most famous of them all is Erzim Luger, the robber baron. He owned the castle in the second half of the 15th century. He was basically a Slovenian Robin Hood, but although instead of stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, he basically just stole from the rich and kept everything.
Oh, great. That's great.
He made a lot of enemies. He killed the commander of the Roman Imperial Army to avenge the death of his best friend, and the king was forced to siege his castle. So he had to retreat to his castle, and basically for about a year and a half, the castle was under constant watch and attack. The Roman army was hoping...
Oh, dear.
Can I just say, so Chub Chub has been scratching in the litter box for the past 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then also Cosmo, do you see him?
What did he do?
Look at him. So we can see all the way to our bathroom, and the bathroom door is open.
Oh, wow, that's creepy.
Macanelli, you should see this. And never mind, he's out. And so Cosmo is in our tub, and his glowing eyes are looking out at us. And he just looks like a figure with glowing eyes.
I think
lurking.
He was lurking like a freaking weirdo. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but he was just like
Well,
freaking
I mean,
weird.
It doesn't take you to help the wonderful,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
The cityscape behind
the
him.
cityscape. Yeah,
I know. People with their motorcycle.
You might think that we're adding in MP3 sound waves of people driving past us to make us seem more urban, but guess what? That's all natural.
More of an
man.
urban
We don't
vibe.
need any of that.
We don't need it.
We don't need it. Okay, so they were under attack for about a year and a half. They were the Roman army was basically waiting to trying to wait them out until their supplies ran out. But what the Roman army didn't know was that the Baron had constructed an intricate network of underground tunnels
What?
that led to a nearby village where they could sneak off and resupply.
That's crazy.
And let me-
I just gotta ask at this point, what fortress doesn't have secret tunnels that lead somewhere? I mean, the best ones always do.
yeah.
Well, I think there was
Oh my lord.
that fortress in Israel where the Romans were sieging it and where Hanukkah came from, but I'm pretty sure everyone just died in there.
Oh gosh.
And that's why fortresses from
Right.
You learn from your mistakes.
That is beautiful.
This is gonna be on the Instagram, right?
You can tour. Yes.
Oh,
All these will be on Instagram and Facebook. You can tour this.
You can absolutely tour this.
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
I think we need to take a trip to Slovenia.
Oh my god! I bet Rick Steves has the perfect Slovenia guide.
Okay.
Shout out to Rick Steves of PBS.
Giving your own shout outs now. I like that. I know. I like it.
This plan wasn't without risk, though, because some of Erzem's men became trapped in the tunnels during a particularly bad earthquake. During all this time, Erzem enjoyed mocking the soldiers by throwing them buckets full of cherries.
How does he have cherries in these tunnels?
Well, they would go to the towns and like just buy a bunch of food and like sneak back.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow. Again, now Cosmo is in the litter box.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thanks, you guys. This is great. Great content.
Okay, so, however, eventually one of Erzem's servants was successfully bribed to betray him. One day, when Erzem was on the toilet in a high point of the castle,
oh my gosh,
the servant gave the signal to the Roman army, and they launched a cannonball that destroyed the bathroom and killed Erzem with it.
Wow.
Or Ezeram with it.
You got to understand that back then, the amount of accuracy required to pull
I
that
know.
off.
That's true.
It's pretty
That's
remarkable.
True. That also reminds me of the story in the Bible when that king was on the toilet.
Was it Saul?
I don't know. I don't know. And then someone came in with a sword and just like chopped him in half, which is really gross.
Yeah, or maybe I'm thinking of when David sneaks in and rips off the piece of Saul's robe.
Yeah, that may have been
I could have killed you if I wanted.
I could have killed you.
Okay, so
it's our drink. Okay.
In modern times, there is an annual medieval tournament that takes place in July on the grounds of the castle, and tourists are freely able to take tours of it. It comes complete with replica 1500 style furniture.
Wow.
And a dungeon with torture equipment.
Oh my gosh.
And you can even walk around the tunnels as they did in the past. Although there are no string lights from what they said, so every visitor has to be equipped with a headlamp as their only source of light.
That's crazy.
It sounds awesome. In 2008, Ghost Hunters International visited the castle, and they claim that it is one of the 10 most haunted castles in the world. Supposedly, when people tour the tunnels, they hear faint whispers in the dark, possibly from servants that never made it out.
Oh, bud.
And many others believe also that Ezeram himself still walks the castle to this day.
Do you know how much of a bummer it must be
to walk around?
No, I'm saying like to be the ghost of a servant, and it's like, oh, he's the servant.
Oh yeah.
No name.
Yeah.
You're just that guy's servant. Oh, it's the
True.
ghost of a servant.
Yeah.
Oh, look out! He'll hand you an apple.
All right, guys. Those are my 2 castles for this week.
Thank you for that. That was awesome.
And you are gonna love those images. Those
those
castles,
pictures are gorgeous.
Prime real estate, super spooky.
Huge.
It's gonna be huge.
The best well that's also an OSHA violation.
Yep. True.
Do you want to go next, Yzzi, or
Please do.
I mean, I suppose I can. I can lighten the moods ever so slightly.
What you got for us?
Okay.
So I'm going to test y'all's guessing ability as to which celebrities may or may not have had a brush with the paranormal. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put a disclaimer saying that the ones that will be on the no side are ones that I haven't confirmed.
Okay.
But the ones that are the yeses are stories that I could confirm.
I'm gonna take a guess in the dark and take a shot in the dark and say that Lou Diamond Phillips has seen a ghost.
I wouldn't know. He's not on the list.
Okay.
But that's a good follow-up question for next week.
All right.
Or the week
Do
after.
your homework, peeps.
Yeah. If anybody knows if Lou Diamond Phillips has seen a ghost, please write in.
Yeah.
Yeah, now's your chance. Be famous.
Call out Lou Diamond Phillips for his paranormal.
Yeah.
We'll have him on.
Your accomplishments
we can call him
mean
up.
nothing to us. We just want to know if you're paranormal.
Okay. So I guess we can start out easy.
Okay.
Okay.
Matt Damon. Yes or no?
Yes.
I'm gonna say no.
I don't think he would believe in that.
Okay. Well, I could not find anything for Matt Damon.
Okay.
Dang
Cool.
it.
Yes.
Here's a good one. Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
I'm gonna get yes.
I'm gonna say yes on that one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 3 yeses. You are correct. Apparently, when he was a small child, around like 7 or whatever, he was just like sitting in like a playroom, I guess, with like his sister, who I think was like sleeping in his nanny, and then just out of nowhere, this jacket just walks in.
Whoa.
And it just like walks in and then like does some stuff and then plops over. And Keanu was like, whatever, that's cool. But then he looked at the nanny and she was freaking the fuck out. And he's like, so that was real.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So how are we going to do this with points? Does the loser have to go into the bathroom and do baby blue?
The loser's going to go in the bathroom and say, Biggie Smalls, Biggie Smalls, Biggie Smalls.
Oh, my Lord. But you have to say it 13 times.
You have to say Biggie Smalls, Smalls, Biggie.
Yeah,
I would also say you could just keep a tally of the points.
That too.
And then at the end of the year, then the winner gets like a championship belt or something.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That might be a little less ghosty.
Championship belts, all right.
I do have to house sit, so, the less spooky we can make this place, the better.
Oh, my Lord.
I mean...
Are you going to do Blue Baby while we leave?
We'll smudge it with sage before we leave.
Yeah.
Just kidding, we won't.
Great.
Just kidding, we will.
I mean, just all you have to do is create a salt circle and you'll be safe. Okay. If I've learned anything from fictional television shows, it's that salt is the way to go.
Yeah, I think that's factual.
Yeah.
I agree. I also watch TV.
Yeah, it's television. It is wonderful. All right. So, how about Orson Welles?
Ooh. Whoa. I want to say yes, but I also want to assume that he's a very factual man and that he's grounded in science.
I say yes.
Man, I'm actually going to say no.
Yeah, it's a no from me.
I'm going to have to say that I didn't find anything for Orson Welles,
yes.
except for him dealing with the ghost of his career when he was recording that tea commercial.
Got him.
Smoked.
I remember someone talked about him giving an interview about his voice work for the Transformers movie.
Oh, yeah.
He was just like, I play a toy that eats other toys.
Oh, gosh.
No, it's just great that was his last movie.
Yeah.
Oh, but...
Yeah.
He went from Citizen Kane to, I will say, the best Transformers movie.
I haven't even seen it, but I'm gonna say
you haven't seen the 1986 Transformers?
No, man.
We didn't watch that as
we
a
need
group?
to watch it.
Oh my god! Spin-off podcast.
Yeah. I know, I was about to say that's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Yzzi, biggest Transformer fan
ever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say ever, but
the spin-off is called So Anyway We React.
That is okay. Yeah. That would be our YouTube channel.
There's a good crossover because at some point Starscream becomes a ghost.
Oh, there you go.
A robot becomes a ghost?
I shit you not.
Oh my lord.
Well, I mean, a robot falls in love with a human woman, right?
Yeah, there's that. And then there was whenever the Transformers met King Arthur.
Yeah, I think that's the only episode I've watched.
Dear.
Yeah, they get pretty nuts. That wasn't a joke. Okay. I mean, I guess like nuts and bolts. And then
there you go.
Back to the quiz.
Back to this podcast.
Dave Coulier of what is that stupid Step by Step? No, it's not Step by Step. Full House.
Full House.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes.
That guy? Yes.
Negatory.
I could see him being on Celebrity Ghost Stories TV show.
Okay, well, I couldn't find any real ghost stuff, but he was Peter Venkman on the Real Ghostbusters cartoon.
There you go. There you go. There's your connection.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of spooky, but it's like the sucralose of spooky.
Yeah.
Sucralose of spooky. Oh my lord.
All right. U.S. State Representative Dennis Kucinich.
That's so specific.
Yes.
I have to say yes.
Yeah, that's a definite yes.
That is a trick question. He did not have an encounter with a ghost.
Oh.
He believes he saw a UFO.
Oh. I thought you were gonna say Bigfoot.
No. That would have been a great crossover.
Yeah, I know, right?
Unfortunately, no.
Wow,
UFO.
Interesting.
We need to talk about aliens. We haven't talked about aliens at all.
UFO.
Yeah.
UFO. Arcade UFO.
I didn't want to make the alien jump until you guys were ready.
We were born ready.
Surprise, surprise.
All right.
We were beamed up ready.
Yeah.
Oh,
so anyway, it's probed.
Ew, Christopher.
Oh goodness, that's not something I'm ready to broach.
So anyway, I'm abducted.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. What about Sam Rockwell?
Oh.
Who is Sam Rockwell?
I think he was in. What was that? Little Miss Sunshine.
That is correct.
And he was in Iron Man 2.
Okay. The dad.
And that is
Yeah.
a yes.
You're gonna say yes?
I'm gonna say yes.
I'll say yes.
I could not find anything.
Has anyone on this list seen a ghost?
It's just.
Well, all right.
Oh, great. Look
Keanu-
what you did.
Now you can't just give me one.
You're forgetting about Keanu.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Oh, yes, the one person that saw a ghost. I
The
forgot.
one.
Oh.
Keanu.
Boo, I hate it.
What about Kesha?
Ooh.
Yes.
Now that's I would be so shocked if it's a no. So it's a yes.
I don't know. I'm gonna say no.
Really?
Well, she does talk about staying up all night until she sees the sunlight, so maybe she's afraid to. What's happening to my... Help me! She's afraid to go to sleep. I'm alert. I can't say
You're not
anything.
smelling any toast right now, are you?
Okay.
All right. Well, according to an interview from the Conan O'Brien show, she apparently went to the Bone Zone with a ghost.
What?
Yeah.
Stop.
She claims to have been made love to by a ghost.
Oh no!
And she used the term Bone Zone.
Did she really?
Well, that's
Yes.
hilarious.
That's where I got the term Bone Zone from.
And now you'll have it
me
forever.
the most is knowing that this is not the only celebrity that this has happened
Yes.
to.
Oh, yeah.
Quote,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
unquote.
Yeah.
I just picked Kesha because she's the nutty one, but apparently there were a couple more.
That's wild.
I can totally believe that.
Also, like, that's not good, dude. If you think that happened to you,
Yeah.
like, that's
It's
Isn't
not
that what
something
happened?
to be proud
gnarly.
of.
That's what
man.
happened in the first season of American Horror Story.
yeah.
Boy.
And then
Look where we are
Antichrist.
now.
Yeah.
All right.
This episode will contain spoilers for season 1.
No, season 8.
Alright,
Spoilers.
so here's a
Oh
fun
wait,
one.
no, and season 1. You're right. Go ahead.
Gary Busey.
Oh my gosh,
no.
yes.
If he didn't,
Yes.
I would. It would rock my world. It has to be a yes.
What about you, Ed?
Absolutely, 100%.
He's basically a banshee himself.
That's mean.
Okay, well, with this one I have to read the quote.
Ooh, we get a quote.
Should I try to do an impression of Gary Busey?
Please do.
Yeah, sure.
Bonus
Okay.
points.
All right, so this is gonna be awful because I've never tried this. This is a on the moment,
Off the cuff, Gary Busey impersonation.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, I've seen ghosts. I've seen them. There are mischievous ghosts, there are good ghosts, and there are ghosts who play tricks on you. I had a ghost one time come out of a big plate of soup I had.
Oh
Big bowl of soup. It was called a soup ghost.
no! Oh
And it was a good looking ghost because it was covered in vegetables.
I can't.
Oh,
That's my kind of ghost.
you're killing him. Oh no!
One that looks like you can eat. When you can eat a ghost, you're doing good. You'll be able to fly and sometimes go invisible when you don't even know it's coming.
Wait.
Is this really what he
This is an
said?
actual
This
quote?
is according to a quote ripped from a TMZ reporter.
Oh my
gosh.
lord!
That's...
And I think at one point there was a picture of them looking at Gary, like when he was just sitting in his car. But I can't find the picture. So,
Oh, okay.
Oh, Gary.
so there's that lovely
Oh my lord!
example. Did I ask about Liam Neeson yet?
No.
No.
What do you guys think?
Yes, because his wife passed
I'm
away.
going to say yes.
Oh man, I want to be the odd man out, but I gotta follow. It's a yes.
What a follower!
When I looked him up, I didn't find any like real
Really?
ghost. It was just like ghost movies he's been in.
It's just all
okay.
those wolves he killed in that one movie.
Yeah.
Hooray.
There's these ghost wolves. The ghost wolves are chasing me.
Yep.
All right. So this will be the last one. Matt McConaughey.
Oh.
I like how you said Matt McConaughey.
You
I want to
see,
say yes because he's an artist.
I want to say yes because you have to end on a high note with a story, but at the same time, it's the Matthew McConaughey.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a no.
This one's an oh yes.
Oh my
And
lord!
this one also has some quotes.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
let me give me a minute to make my way down. My phone isn't top of the line.
Oh no!
So
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh my lord!
I'm haunted.
And see, the way the story works out is it's super Matt McConaughey of the story. Okay. That's the weird thing. Okay, so let's see. Apparently, his Hollywood home was haunted by a spirit named Madame Blue.
Oh dear! Oh dear!
Okay.
He said, I was not even under the influence, and she was there. She wasn't that happy. It didn't end like she was going to be much fun to hang around or have in my house. Yeah. So I went ahead and stood my ground. I opened the door and said, you can move around all you want, but I'm not going anywhere. For weeks, everyone that came to the house said there's someone in that hall. There's somebody down in that hall.
Oh, chills.
The actor went to say that he stopped getting visits from Madame Blue.
Okay.
So
wow.
Sad.
I don't like that word, that sentence. There's someone in the hallway. I do not like that.
Well, what is it about hallways specifically that are just...
I don't know.
Terrorizing?
I don't know.
It's something about a long encapsulated area that it just unnerves me.
Spoilers for the minisode, but that they found the scissors at the end of the hallway whenever the ghost stole them.
That's true.
Yeah.
Look forward to next week's minisode when you find out where the scissors went.
Where'd they go? We don't know.
What scissors? What are we talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll
talk about it later.
But I think the hallway thing is like the metaphor of a spirit being in transit, where it's always going somewhere, but it never gets there.
Yeah.
It never gets to the light at the end of the tunnel.
That's
at the end of the hallway.
Yeah.
That's actually, it's pretty on point.
Wow.
I can believe that.
That's gnarly.
Yeah. That's AP English for you.
With Mrs. Beard.
Oh,
Mrs.
God.
Beard.
Oh, that harpy.
That's mean.
She was not a nice person.
You didn't have her as a teacher.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so she was this pale, just overly odorous, screechy harpy of a woman.
Oh.
Yeah,
she was just aggravating, and I hated her so much.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel that.
Yeah, she like, whenever she'd go by you, the air would get colder.
What?
Like, I shit you not.
I don't think she was real.
Do you agree?
I was a famous underachiever in high school, so the one AP class I actually took was her AP English.
Yeah.
And it was pretty brutal. It was just like essays every day, which I was not used to at all.
Yeah.
But like, I had to get out of it because I just was like floundering. I wasn't doing well. But I was thinking like, oh man, her AP class is this tough. I wonder how like tough her normal class is going to be. So like the first day of her normal class, all we did was watch The Patriot.
Oh my lord!
Yeah, see that was horseshit. But the thing, oh my god, it was just It was just like she would walk by and there's like she would like bathed in perfume, so it would get cold and then that funk would hit you.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, you malodorous harpy. I hate you so much.
She might have been nice outside of school, but it's just not.
You'll never know.
Fun.
I mean, maybe, but I would never have wanted to know.
You guys didn't have a beer after you graduated?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think many, I won't say where we're from, but I don't think many teachers from where we're from would be the kind to get a beverage with after.
Yama.
There's always
Yama.
Okay, alright, fine. You can have Yama.
There's the Necroyancer.
Shout out to Yama, dude.
Necroyancer.
Yancey!
True, Yancey. I used to hang out with Yancey and with Lacey and with Yama.
Yancey would come to my birthday parties, man.
Yeah, Yancey went, Yancey did go to your birthday parties.
He
Yama
sure
went
did.
to our wedding.
Good old Necroyancer.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Necroyancer if he's
What's up?
listening.
Yancey's probably never going to listen to this.
You say that, but he's a pretty hip dude.
He's a hip dude, but how is he ever going to find us?
He is a fan of Battlestar Galactica. I guarantee he listens to So Anyway It's Haunted.
He also made
It's
the
a clear
mistake
connection.
of saying that he played World of Warcraft in front of a bunch of teenagers.
Not one generation of teenagers, but 4 generations of teenagers. He never learned his lesson.
I coined the term Necroyancer and it haunted him for years.
It's a good nickname, though. It's a good nickname.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, this probably isn't interesting to anyone
that doesn't know these people. If we pretend it's interesting, people might, yeah.
It is, Yzzi.
Wow. This is a great conversation. I'm having fun.
This Yzzi.
All right, thank you for that segment.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Yeah, sweet.
At some point, I guess we can tally up the scores.
Oh.
Yeah, hey, listeners, I'm sure you were paying attention to who got what answers right. You feel free to comment below and let us know. Because
where are they commenting? You always say that, but I'm like, where's the comment
Leave a review with your
YouTube has
comment.
comments, and I know that, I guess...
I mean, Instagram, too.
If someone wants to be an overachiever, you can leave a review on iTunes and say, hey, episode 7, this was the tally for the questionnaire.
5 stars.
I hope and pray that one day we will have listeners so dedicated that they will be like, this is how many points you had in that one episode.
You would be surprised.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to manifest it. It's going to happen. I'm going to manifest a whole human.
Board.
A whole OCD-ridden human.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going on the vision board.
One day you might have your own fandom wiki.
Hey, I would love that.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to the picture they have of Monster Mac.
You're not looking forward
no
to
matter
the fan
what,
art?
You don't want the deviant art of
no matter
Monster
what.
Mac?
Oh,
no matter
dear.
what, I guarantee it's going to be the one where I'm like looking downwards. You got that double chin smile. It's like,
Let's take a U-turn out of this topic.
If you have deviant art of Monstrous Mac, please leave it on their Instagram.
Oh, my Lord.
Please, I invite
We'll share it.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, totally aside from deviant art, I'm sorry, Monica, that I'm going to shout out to you when we're talking about this, but Monica, the girl that
Minisode?
suggested the mirror episode, last episode, she actually drew a picture of me while she was listening. It's just like, it's not like painted or anything. She said it wasn't finished. I think it's a masterpiece.
It looks really good.
It's a freaking masterpiece. She was just like listening to her podcast and like drew me and then drew 2 little ghost cats around me.
Yeah.
I will post it with her permission. Instagram, yeah. By the way, her Instagram handle, we talked about how it was just kind of like some like letters or whatever, but she listened to the new episode and she said that it stands for Ghost Bones. So GHTBNS. She said, hold on, let me get this message.
Not to be confused with the Bone Zone of Kesha fame.
Yeah, that's a very different thing.
Which also has nothing to do with anything related to things, I won't say a word, things related to the fandom of Undertale or anything involving skeleton characters.
Also not related to the beautiful Brendan Fraser movie, Monkey Bone.
That too. Or The Lonely Bones, which I was very depressed.
Lovely Bones?
Lovely Bones,
Yeah.
sorry. I did not enjoy watching that in theaters.
Yeah, we all saw it together
rough
because I read
movie.
the book. Yeah, it is.
It's not as whimsical as it looks, is it?
No.
Surprise, it's
No, it's
not.
about a child molester who also murders.
Yeah, see,
all the
that's
girls.
why anytime there's a movie about, there's a child molester, I don't want to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's
that's
better
fair.
to do.
I didn't know that going in, but I sure learned
sorry. Okay, so Monica said, she said, this episode is definitely my favorite so far. She said she died during the disclaimers, so people loved your bit.
it. wait, which episode was that? 5?
The last one, 6, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Where you do the disclaimers about baby booby baby, whatever it is.
Yep.
Anyway, she said her name, her Instagram handle. She said it was originally Ghost Bones, the title of her first ever solo show.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is really sick. Find her
It's a
at
cool name.
GHTBNS. She literally has the most beautiful art. Here, Yzzi, I'm going to show you some of her art.
Hey, say that one more time, but
snap.
slow it down for just for people that want to
Better
spell
than
it
I
out.
can do.
GHTBNS. She also does. Let me give you something. Look at that. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
This
Anyway,
That is nice.
check her out on Instagram. She's super cool, amazing. I will post. How did that turn on?
Whoops.
Oh,
Ghost.
I was
oh no,
gonna
the
turn on,
TV
so
just
you-
turned on.
Demon closet.
Was it Ghost Bones?
It was
The closet's open.
Anyway, so check
Was
out
it
her.
open before?
Check out her art. Buy her art. Support local art. Support her. She is a wonderful artist and a wonderful person. Yeah. So anyway.
It's haunted.
You wonder how we got the name. It's because I say so anyway a billion times.
Yeah.
In conversation. So what you got for us?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, pack your bags and get your stuff settled because we're going on a trip international.
National?
We're starting a new...
International.
Oh.
All of the urban legend segments will now be involving, for the time being, until I say otherwise, foreign urban legends.
Is it just going to be Japan?
Thank you for...
No, it's a real question. Is it just going to be Japan?
No.
Okay, all right.
It's not.
I mean, there's plenty of crazy stuff in South America.
I would
Malaysia.
like to clarify, believe it or not, listeners, that these urban legends were not provided by my own knowledge of Japan, but from somebody currently living in Japan.
Okay, all right. I'm just kidding.
A shout out to Avery.
See, those are some good Japanese.
Oh, wait, can we say her name?
Thank you, Avery, for all of your research that you did. This
Did
is your unofficial shout-out.
Did she really do this research?
Yeah, she
did.
did.
That's sick.
She sent me tons of things that I was about to say, but I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to spoil it yet. She sent me tons of things, and I chose only the best of the best, and maybe I'll get around to the extra stuff later, but for now, we're going to talk about the big and the popular stuff.
Did she listen?
Yeah.
Sweet, dude. Hey, Avery, how's it going? Hope you're doing well.
Thank you very much for your listening.
Thanks for the
So that's
research.
Patreon stuff, right? The
Patreon?
The bonus stuff is going on to Patreon.
Bonus stuff. Yeah,
I
that
wish.
extra episode about all the Japanese legends, you can catch that on our Patreon. No, I'm just kidding.
We
don't
will have a
that yet.
Patreon soon, but
Eventually.
we just got a lot going on right now. We're
Yeah.
moving and going to Denver for a week, so
I was going to say, earlier today we recorded a mini-sode that you'll check out next week. And you said something about spooky supporters, and I was like, "Hey, that's a good term. We could even make like a band a thing you could put around your arm that says SS."
Oh no!
Stop. You did not think that
For a split second, and then I was like, "No,
sad.
Oh.
we can't have spooky
Sad.
supporters."
We just
Nothing
lost-
ages better than Nazi humor.
If you were
We just
So,
lost all our German supporters.
if you are out there and you consider yourself a spooky supporter, we're gonna find a different name for you.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
We just-
back to
we
what
did,
I was.
however, gain some Alabama supporters.
There you go.
Actually, we do have some listeners in Alabama, so maybe we should make them mad.
I mean, I am the guest, so I don't think I'm gonna.
You don't care?
No.
I'm not gonna be here anyway.
Yeah,
This doesn't affect him.
We don't like Nazis,
Send all your hate mail to my Instagram.
which doesn't exist.
Hey, shut up.
What's your Instagram handle, Yzzi?
It's so anyway, it's not haunted.
Oh my lord.
It's IZZY at Instagram.com.
Yep.
Instagram.com.
.com. Yeah, don't forget
So wait,
it. It's a
that's your-
website.
What's your email?
It's actually on Instagram.net. It's extra
Yeah.
elite only.
Yzzi at
top
hotmail.com.
tier.
All right. Well, before we
Anyway,
lose
sorry.
everybody's attention, I have 3 different stories for you today. And as you know, Monster Mac, I always cite my sources. Today, I keep it simple. We have Wikipedia.com. Surprise, surprise. That's where most of the information comes from. And then we have Yokai.com.
Whoa.
Yokai being the Japanese term for ghosts or demons or spirits. You choose. It's a loose translation.
Okay.
But Yokai, YOKIE.com.
Sweet.
So,
But which one will pine for my affection the hardest?
oh dear. So, I'm
all I
gonna
got.
kick it off tonight with the urban legend of Zashiki Warashi. That is, just so you know, thank you again, Avery. This is her favorite urban legend from Japan. I wanted to
Sweet.
go strong from the get-go, just from the
Sweet.
jump.
Cool.
So, this roughly translates to Guestroom Child.
Oh.
Yeah, let that sink in for a
I
second.
don't like that.
Sometimes also called Zashiki Boko, Bokko. They are spirits that are told mostly about in the Iwate prefecture. They are said to be gods that live in Zashiki storage rooms. Those are guest rooms. And they they would perform pranks, and those that see one would be visited with good fortune. So, hey, guess what? At least you're being paid off.
Yeah.
There are also legends of how they would bring fortune to families. They are known from Kunio Yanagita, Tono Monogatari, Ishigami, Mondo. I hope I said that correctly.
They are stories. Send it to Mac.
Yeah, correction corners. Monster Mac is always ready to be berated.
You already know.
That's what I'm all about, baby. So there are stories about them appearing in the 17th and 18th chapters of the Tono Monogatari and the 87th chapter titled Zashiki Warashi of the Tono Monogatari Shui. And in the 17th chapter, it is written that families with whom the gods dwell are freely able to prosper at will. Okay. In recent years, they are also known from television programs and magazines that report about various Iwate Prefecture, ryokan, where it is said to be possible to see Zashiki Warashi, such as the Ryokufuso and the Sugawara Benkan and the Warabi. Now, since I've said a bunch of really complicated terms, we're going to get into the concept here, because that was all the backstory explanation here. So, reports have been mostly in the Iwate Prefecture, but there are also some scattered across the Aomori Prefecture and the Miyagi Prefecture, which, mind you, is where my friend lives.
Okay. Oh, sweet.
Generally, they have a red face, hair that hangs down, and have the appearance of that of a child of about 5 or 6.
Whoa.
But this age is also said to vary depending on the house that they settle in, with examples ranging from the minimum around 3 and the maximum about 15 years old. They have a bob cut haircut, so American bowl cut.
Yeah.
A very short cropped hair. Both male and female ones have been seen, and the male ones are said to have worn blackish clothes with a kasuri or striped or striped patterns. The female ones are said to wear red, chan chako kosode, and sometimes furisode. It is also said there are some whose appearance are unclear, making them gender unknown.
Okay.
It's 2018.
That's
Sometimes multiple would settle in the house at once, like a boy and a girl. There are also some legends that tell of one that looks like a black beast, as well as ones that look like a warrior, which I think I'd take the warrior any day over the black beast.
So these are helpful spirits, correct?
Mischievous, but helpful. It's like, if you have to put up with them, you're being paid off to do so.
Okay.
They like causing mischief, so they are said to leave ash or bleaching powder on top of little footprints at nighttime. They are said to make sounds like that of a revolving spinning wheel, and they would also make sounds of an inner room making sounds like that of a kagura performance.
The Japanese have like really strange fixations on like sounds, like specific weird sounds.
Really?
Yes.
Like the Grudge Girl, like that distinct like groaning sound. Like it's not like, I don't know, like things that are traditionally scary, but are just like really
unsettling.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
So these are like spirits that exist outside of like just dead kids. Like these aren't just like dead kids who died. In the house.
They're not based off of someone who has passed or something. They are more.
It's just like a spirit that's like floating around. Like, you know what I could do tonight? I'm gonna go bleach some footprints on the ground. What up?
We out here.
But in Iwate, there are legends of how the Zashiki Warashi of a shrine would follow shrine visitors who come from afar and follow them into different lands. So it's one of those things where
they get attached to you.
Yeah. And see, that's more so than any house haunting or anything that I've ever heard of or imagined. It's really the ones that like latch onto you and follow you somewhere that traumatize me the most. This is why I do.
Yeah, that's pretty creepy.
These stories specifically.
So do you think those spirits, like whenever they get to like Europe and all they find are like dour, like doom, like murdered spirits, are like, wow, this is not as whimsical as home. It's like, oh, there's just this headless horseman who scares the crap out of people, or there's this drowned woman, living in this house. It's like, where are the prankster spirits? It's like, oh no. Sorry.
They just like being sad and walking through walls.
I hope the guy you bonded with goes back to Japan soon.
Yeah.
This is awful. You guys are worse than we are. But there are also theories about how they cannot be seen by anyone other than members of the family, or how they can only be seen by children but not adults.
That also happens. Just generally with spirits. Children are more sensitive.
There are stories about how when adults counted children, there would be one more person than there was originally, which one of my favorite horror animes is based off of this concept. And I don't want to spoil the entire show, but the show is called Another. Look it up. It's very interesting.
Right.
The whole concept is that it involves a high school. This is also one of Avery's favorite shows. It involves a high school where there is a ghost within your room, and they are counted for. So there's an extra person that they can't decipher who is who.
Yeah.
And it slowly leads to death among the people who are there.
Interesting.
But I don't know if that has any connection to this, but it's just coincidence. So yeah. They would not know who the extra person is. Yeah, like I just said with the story.
Yeah.
Stories like these are also frequently appear... That's a very weird sentence. It's just a common theme in literature with them. So that's the Wikipedia article about it. Let's talk about yokai.com. Mm-hmm. So the actual translation of the term Zashiki Warashi, which you'll notice that shiki is a common term for spirit or malevolent being, there's actually an anime called Shiki. I'm not going to get all nerded out on that, but anyways, the proper translation of it as the Shiki child. Alternative names, depending on the region, varies as ghost. The habitat of the Zashiki is the sitting rooms with tatami mats and other rooms, guest rooms, more or less. It's I don't know why the website notes their diet, but it says none. But enjoys candies and treats left out for them.
Oh, well, there it is.
Yeah, that's very bizarre.
Interesting.
Is it diet none, or is it like diet no thank you?
Leave
body
me some
pause.
candy.
Yep.
Their body pause.
Yep.
I'm on the seafood diet, y'all.
Seafood, I eat it.
Yum yum. Gotta love those rice balls.
Oh Lord.
So, speeding on through the yokai.com article, Zashiki Warashi are house spirits fond of mischief, loved by all, and believed to bring great fortune and riches to those whose house it haunts. So, just to paint an image for you here, I don't know if you've seen them before, but there are kind of... If you imagine, like, the Victorian glass dolls that a lot of people's mothers would collect. I know my mother used to have a...
I don't know why you're looking at me.
My mother used to have a collection of them that she would put up next to her bed. It traumatized me.
Wow.
But Japan had much larger dolls that were popular, and it was basically the same thing. They'd be made of, like...
Porcelain?
Porcelain, yeah. It'd be porcelain, but they're much larger in scale, not the small dollar store ones you would find. You would see these, people would just keep them, and, like... This was the image that people would have, these creepy children that would be in their house.
Oh.
So anyways, I don't know where the red face comes from, though. That's very original to just these.
They've been drinking.
It says, their behavior. Zashiki Warashi love mischief. Often, the first sign of the ones that may be haunting your house is the trail of children's footprints going through the ashes or soap powder.
I don't know. Okay.
Other mischief includes making phantom noises, which sound like spinning wheels, like I mentioned in the Wikipedia article.
Yeah.
All night. Paper crinkling, children's voices are Kagura Shinto holy music. I don't think... above, as much as, like, at the top of my list, children noises is just one of the most unnerving things. I think children singing holy music takes the cake.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. That's definitely... I don't want to hear that.
Could you imagine, like, a European equivalent singing, like, Gregorian choir music?
Oh, yeah.
Just, like, super, like, ornate. It's like, what?
Please, no.
Like, that would just be so annoying. Like, you're in this huge estate, and you're like, oh, the ghost is singing again.
But, yeah, so, other forms, it says, their common name comes from the zashiki, the formal reception room for guests in a Japanese house, where they most often reside. So, if you're a guest in someone's house in Japan... Watch out for these fools.
Wow.
Weird.
They are known by many different names in other areas, such as Kuraboko, warehouse child is what it translates to.
Oh, sad.
Such a sad name. Yeah, and Makurageishi, pillow turner, which I would like a pillow turner in my house. My pillow often gets too warm on one side, and I'm too tired to flip it over.
Yes.
Since like spirits like cool the air. Could they just possess the pillow and keep it like
Yeah.
you're always on
That'd
the
be
cool
amazing.
side
Like one of
because
those
a
gel
ghost,
pillows.
Yeah.
like a ghost resides in the pillow.
It does say that they give great fortune. So I mean,
What if you had like a ghost-powered computer that was just like super cooled, like CPU,
Oh
but it's cooled with like ghost energy?
Ectoplasm.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to take 5 seconds. I gotta go to the restroom. I'm sorry. I tried to wait.
Is that why you've been speeding through this?
Yeah.
All right. Cue the sick piano solo that I always put in.
Whew. Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited that the last thing they heard was that you had to go to the bathroom, and then the
Yes.
first thing they heard was you going, "Oof." Anyway,
Oh,
Oof.
what a load off. Am I right? No.
No.
So I wanted to end it on more of a, I don't want to say high note, but like, because I mean, like, that spirit was more of a, I'm going to screw with you, but, here's riches because why not kind of spirit. But here's more of a well-known popular spirit in Japan, and we'll kind of round it off with this. So this is Hanako-san. Hanako-san is also known as Toire no Hanako-san, or Hanako of the Toilet.
Okay.
It is a Japanese urban legend about the spirit of a young girl who haunts the school bathrooms. She is allegedly...
Moaning Myrtle?
More or less, yeah.
Okay.
She appears when one shouts out her name, so feel free to go into the bathroom and shout Hanako-san. I know I
thank you.
won't whenever I'm watching this house for a week.
No, thank you. Look at the
Her
cats.
origins vary from different sources. Some say that she's the ghost of a girl killed during an air raid during World War II.
Whoa.
While still others purport that she was murdered by a psychotic parent or a stranger.
Oh.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Remember how I said I'd end this on a high note? I lied. According to legend, a person who goes by the third stall in a girl's bathroom, which, by the way, I just want to go ahead and clarify for you real quick. When it comes to Japanese legends involving bathrooms and curses, you're out of luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
From what I've learned, it's like, if you choose the middle one, you're doomed. If you choose the last one, you're doomed. You choose the first one, you're doomed.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
What about
it
the
doesn't
second
matter.
one?
There's always... No. It doesn't
You're
matter
doomed.
however many numbers there are.
What's that lucky number? Isn't there like a lucky number in Japan? Like
4?
7? Is it 7?
No.
If you go to like the 7th
Oh,
one.
4 is the bad.
4
bad
is
number?
actually... Ichi, ni, so...
I think
Ichi.
in Chinese 4 is bad because in Chinese 4 is like she, which is the same
Also
as death.
death. Yeah.
Surprise,
So they skipped the
that's
fourth
actually
floor.
also the same in Japan. Although
Okay.
it's not the same pronunciation, and I'm going to get that wrong. I'm sorry, Avery.
Because it goes
But,
Ichi-ni-san yon.
Yon, yeah. And it's the same word for death. So they actually, and I don't know the proper word for it, they eventually adapted a new word for 4 that does not represent death that they use. It's
Yeah.
kind of like slang depending on where you go.
Yeah.
Corrections corner is coming for me. I can hear it.
Straight from Avery.
But anyways, yeah, no. The word for 4 is definitely related to the word for death in Japanese. According to the legend, a person who goes to the third stall in the girl's bathroom on the 3rd floor and knocks 3 times, very much 3, 3, 3, 3, and asks, "Are you there, Hanako-san?" will hear a voice answer, "I'm here." If the person chooses to enter the stall, there will be a small girl in a red skirt.
Ugh.
Hanako-san is a popular and widespread urban legend, often played by school children as a rite of courage or a method of hazing new students similar to Bloody Mary in Western schools. There are variations. Hanako-san has been said to have various origins and behaviors depending on the school or region. Her physical appearance can also vary, but usually is that of a young girl with a bobbed haircut, and red skirt. In In the Yamagata Prefecture, supposedly after Hanako-san has answered and one enters the stall, he or she will find and be eaten by a 3-headed lizard who mimics a girl's voice.
Oh,
that is awfully specific and very awful.
Yeah, that went into a weird direction.
Wait, so
you think
Hanako-san's actually King Ghidorah?
Yeah.
Only in the Yamagata Prefecture, but yes.
So everywhere else it's like a cute little girl. It's like, hello, I'm on the toilet.
I'm a ghost.
But you step into the wrong prefecture and then it's like...
Yeah. Wait a second. This isn't a... and it eats them.
Oh. And it eats them.
In case you didn't know what that was.
For those of you listening.
In the Iwate Prefecture, the legend purports that after one has called Hanako-san, a white hand emerges from the door. In the Kanagawa Prefecture, a blood-stained hand will appear after Hanako is called. Hanako was a common girl's name in Japan during the 1950s when the legend supposedly began. And sadly, that is all the information I could find on Hanako-san for now, but I'm sure someone will, berate me for that later, and I will do more research.
I'm surprised there hasn't been some anime or something where there's a Jewish character and they're named Hanako.
Hanako-san.
Oh my lord.
Like it just seems so hilariously racist that it would work.
Yeah.
Since that's their brand of racism is the hilarious variety.
Yeah.
It is true.
So
Ashley mentioned to me, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that you actually have you had a fear as a child. That was
I think it was today, actually.
This is very Japanese, in my opinion.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was afraid to... It's not that I didn't do it, but I was afraid... I got scared when I flushed the toilet. I would... For some reason, I thought, snakes and, mummies were gonna come out. Mummy hands. And so, anytime... I would get myself ready. I would, hand on, the stall lock, and then hand on the freaking thing.
Yeah.
The thingy.
The flusher.
The flusher?
I don't know.
Was it
the handle?
The handle.
Is there? Yeah.
I was like, what?
I mean, I guess.
And then I would press it really fast and run out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And I don't know when it stopped.
Yeah. That reminds me of Majora's Mask.
I was gonna say, that's actually based off of Japanese urban legends, but I couldn't, in my research, I couldn't specifically find the one that involved the hand that has requests for you, and if you follow it, I guess you're...
Well, that thing shows up in a couple Zelda games.
Yeah, it was also in one of the Game Boy
Skyward Sword.
Was it?
And Game Boy, yeah.
Mm.
But that is, thank you for joining me as your captain on this flight.
Oh my lord.
Next time we will travel to another foreign country and give that a go.
Okay.
Shout out to all our foreigner listeners. Thank you so very much. We don't deserve you.
Yeah.
You're amazing. But let's move on to our next segment, the stories.
Okay. Do you mind if I read a story and then we can talk about personal stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Personal paranormal stuff.
It's your show.
It is. Anyway, so in the fall, I'm just gonna read one story this week. In the following episode, we're gonna release a mini-sode while we're in Denver. That is just personal stories, personal listener stories. So this is from Leanna. So I'm reading another one of Leanna's stories. I will read two of them in the minisode. So here is one. She says, I've had my fair share of sleep paralysis, and it always included what I believed to be demons. I was in Bible college, and I shared a room with two other classmates of mine, and we all experienced sleep paralysis with a demonic presence in that room. When it wasn't that, we were having nightmares. My experience with sleep paralysis in that room was that I woke up in the middle of the night not being able to move, or maybe I was too scared to move. I was facing the wall in my bed, and I could feel something very heavy and evil hovering over my body. I could feel warm breaths on my cheek. I believe in God, so I started to pray, and it eventually went away, and I fell back asleep. Something similar happened to my classmate in this room as well. We had to pray over our room every night before bed. It attacked us a few more nights, and eventually went away.
Oof.
And then after, she has a few other stories too that we'll talk about in other episodes, but she says, I have more, but I feel like I'm writing a memoir. I love it though. Send us all your stories.
Yeah, please do.
That reminds me of that one woman in The Nightmare. I think she was laying in bed and she could feel something She was laying on her side, and someone was behind her, like, looking over her shoulder.
Yeah.
And then she started to pray, and it went away.
Yeah.
Come on,
yeah,
guys.
that's what I do, too.
I already can't sleep on my back. You're doing this to me. I'm not going to be able to sleep on my side either.
But she says, thanks for taking the time to read all of this. I've had my fair share of spooks and even demonic activity. I enjoy listening to your podcast, and I hope you continue. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We will, we'll hear, oh my gosh, I can't talk tonight. We'll hear 2 of your stories in the mini-sode, and then we have, like, another kind of, like, haunted place story that she talks about that maybe you'll be able to do a story on.
Oh.
And we'll have a story from her. Anyway, so, Yzzi.
Oh yeah, the thing we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So, I haven't had an experience with like the sleep paralysis thing in the traditional sense, but it was, in my opinion, equally torturous, but for different reasons, I suppose. So, it was one morning, and my alarm was going off, and you do the usual, try to hit the button to make the noise stop, but it just wouldn't work. And so I proceeded to keep hitting it harder and harder, shaking it, twisting it around, doing everything you possibly can, to the point where I eventually was smashing it apart, and the sound would not stop. And it was to the point where I was emotionally begging it, please,
oh my gosh,
please, will you please stop? And then that went on for a little while, and then I finally woke up, and my alarm was literally sitting there going off. And I was sweating, but I was pretty much trapped in my own brain.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a horrible, there's a mysterious figure. It was just my alarm clock haunting my trapped mind.
Wow. That's crazy.
That is wild. That happens to me. I mean, like when my alarm goes off and I'm dreaming, the alarm will kind of like insert itself into my dream somehow, but I've never experienced that.
But it's just like this constant grating where it's just it immediately tears away any willpower.
Yeah.
That's just it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's not. It's spooky for other reasons.
It wasn't paranormal, but still, that's frightening.
I mean, I still have that alarm clock.
Oh no!
Fuck that clock.
So when was this?
This was like, I think it happened the first time, I think when I was in high school, and I think it happened one more time when I was in college.
Oh wow!
But it was just like I literally smashed the thing to pieces in my mind. Yeah. And it would not stop.
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
I was just desperately begging, please, just.
That's crazy.
Just.
It's
stop.
funny how you can imagine that from like a almost like a Looney Tunes cartoon perspective, and it's like it's supposed to be a joke.
Yeah.
But then putting yourself in that situation and imagining like this just noise and that you can't stop it. It's such more of a alarming.
It just grates on you.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not an interesting, spooky story. It's just one of those things where we're like, well, that sucks.
But the mind is like a crazy place.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So that's a little glimpse into the psyche of me. That's what haunts me at night is the alarm clock that will never stop.
Yeah.
That actually reminds me of an experience I had back when I was in community college. I had long breaks between my classes. And there was a period of time when I would sleep in my truck, and I thought it was a good idea. I later found out from health articles you probably shouldn't sleep in vehicles, but, you can look that up yourself.
Can we just say you slept in your truck, and it was off?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, obviously I didn't have it turned on. It was turned off, but I mean, like...
Yeah, that's the thing, though.
You're like
did you have the
putting
windows
yourself
down?
in a hot box and like...
I don't know.
Did you ever have the windows down at all?
No. Maybe sometimes, but the point is, like, if it was turned on, it would have been much worse for me. Like, I look, there's like carbon poisoning you could get from that and stuff, whatnot. But whatever. Anyways, yeah. I mean, the worst I dealt with was having a turned off truck hot box where I was just having basically a heat stroke. But what happened specifically to me when I was in community college, what was so freaky was that there was this one specific moment when I fell asleep. And I was prepared for my next class, which was at like, I think I might have I took a nap at noon, and I knew that my class was at 1:30. Well, I went to sleep, and I woke up, and I was like, okay, wow, it's really hot. Okay, it's time to go to class. And I would undo my seatbelt, and I would, put it up, open my truck door, and start walking. And it seemed as though the the parking lot I was in would stretch on forever.
Yeah.
What?
And I was like, what is going on? And I'd be like, oh gosh. And then I would wake up and I was in my truck and I'd be like, okay, all right, undo my seatbelt, get out, open the truck, start walking.
Yeah.
It stretches on.
What?
And stretches on. This has only ever happened to me once in my life. And I was like, what? Wait. I'm still in the truck. And
you were having a vision quest, dude.
Yeah, literally. And I just want to go ahead and notify. This happened in 2009. This was before Inception ever happened.
Oh.
So I woke up. I was in my truck. I undo the seatbelt. I get out. I start walking. I realize I'm seeing the same image, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm still in my truck." I'm pretty sure the instance of me realizing this was a dream occurred to me at least 17 different times.
What?
I had done it so much. I had woken up, quote unquote, and gotten out of my truck so many times, I didn't know what to believe. Until finally, I woke up actually, and I was soaked, drenched in sweat from the summer heat.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and I was like, okay, this has to be real. I undid my seatbelt and I got out and I started walking, and I realized for once the parking lot did not stretch on forever.
Wow,
and I was
that's
like,
terrifying.
oh my gosh. And I walked to my class. It was the most traumatizing experience I had ever had outside of, the sleep paralysis.
I think I remember you calling me and telling me about this.
I literally called you moments after, and I was like, I don't even know. Please tell me this is real.
If you had like
insane.
peyote or something,
Yeah.
you would have had like a serious spiritual encounter.
I would have met like the coyote of Navajo lore that teaches you. He's a trickster, but he teaches you lessons every time. Be like, oh, you're trapped in your truck.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You're not awake yet. Look at your clothes.
Hey, look at that. You're naked again. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That's my butt cheeks.
Yep.
Oh, in the front. Cool. Well, thank you all for joining me on this episode.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Second episode with guest Yzzi.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really fun.
Second and a half, I guess, because you're kind of in the mini-sode.
He's
You
kind
don't
of
have a
in the
mic.
minisode.
I mean, I really just sort of make noises and faces.
Yeah.
If you listen closely, he's definitely in next week's minisode.
It's true.
Yeah. How do we do it? Time travelers. Wow. So scary. Anyway, so thanks for what? Thanks for
Sherbert.
Thanks for sharing with us, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening, and you made it this far. Look at you. And if you skipped, well, I don't blame you.
7's a lucky number. Thanks for coming this far.
It's true. We are almost double digits. Yeah, almost big boys.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Double digit. So do you guys have anything planned for like the big number 10?
Oh man.
Not yet. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
We should think of something for the big number 13.
Hey. Yeah. Ooh. Anyway. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, on YouTube. We have all of our episodes on YouTube. We are on Instagram at Anyway It's Haunted. We are on Facebook. Email your stories, your corrections for Mac and Ellie, because apparently no one else makes mistakes somehow. I'm just saying, I don't know how no one else,
hey,
come on, we make mistakes too.
I appreciate the fact that people know their urban legends, and they are absolutely ready to make sure you were talking about what you're talking about.
That's true.
Hey, I mean, you're the experts here. I'm just the messenger.
Keep berating him. He loves it.
It's Gigantopithecus.
Oh, wait, yeah. Are you going to do the corrections?
That's right. Last episode,
that was just the big thing that every time you kept stumbling over it, I just wanted to call you and be like, it's Gigantopithecus. Like, if you'd have just taken the minute to, like, watch anything with, like, the scientists talking about it, they say Gigantopithecus.
I love the fact that you made a personal stop by to give your corrections corner.
Love their Bigfoot.
I love it.
I am learning that really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched a lot of stuff where they break down like how the fingerprinting on the plaster doesn't match. Like it's consistent with an ape, but it doesn't match humans or chimps or anything.
Wow.
And it's not something you would find on a fake. If it was like they would compare different prints, and they'd be in the same style, but they would not be the same. So it's not like if it was like a smooth fake foot, it shouldn't have like the finger ridges and stuff.
That's so true. Wow. I kind of, I mean, I already believed.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I don't really believe in Bigfoot, but that's a really cool fact.
I want there to be Bigfoot so bad.
Yeah.
But I mean,
chances are slim.
Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty easy for bodies to like disappear in the woods.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
No one is taking it serious enough to put in the actual research. I guarantee Bigfoot is out there.
There's something out there.
There's something.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like the Johnny Quest episode where they're actually space aliens and they just disguise themselves as Bigfoot.
Please no.
That was a good episode.
Yeah.
It was from the Real Adventures or the New Adventures of Johnny. It's the one where they're all like adults.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Sweet, sick.
Yeah.
Anyway, so join us next on the next.
Wait, one more time. That email.
Anyway, it's haunted@gmail.com.
There you go.
Yes, email us. Any kind of paranormal experience you have, make it a long one. We love long stories. We want the deets. We want the juicy deets.
And
anything,
I'm going to keep those foreign urban legends going for quite some time. Yeah. So if you specifically know of something and you want it said, email us. We will get it to you.
Also, if you... we had a few people rate us. If you rate us on iTunes or Spotify, if you review us on iTunes, if you follow us on Instagram, let me know. Just like shoot me a DM on Instagram or like an email or whatever, and you will get a shout out. We love it. We love ratings. The more ratings and reviews we have on iTunes, the more friends we get to make, and the sooner we'll be able to do live shows and give you guys merch, and it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, check us out, man, and keep staying spooky.
Yeah.
Anything else? You guys got anything else?
Spook.
I guess don't do anything terribly dangerous for Halloween, guys.
Yeah. Sure.
Stay safe.
Yeah, watch out for murderers and poison candy and razor blades and stuff. Actually, that never happens.
Yes.
Yeah, that has never
You're probably fine. You're better off just watch out for like molester guys.
The only time that's ever happened of note is when these kids died of cyanide poisoning in like the 70s from their pixie sticks, and it turns out it was one of the kids' dads that was just trying to kill his kid, but he accidentally killed the neighbor kid as well. Yeah, it was really rough. That's really dark.
Yeah.
But
really the biggest thing is watch your drinks and watch for creeps.
Yes. Yeah.
It's true.
Always do a buddy system. Anyway, yeah, man. Thanks for listening to So Anyway It's Haunted. We love ya.
Thanks, guys.
Get spooked.
Get spooked.